Where do we start when we're in the depths of overwhelm? When we just flopping from day to day without living or consciously making decisions, where do we start? And my number one tip that I can give you is start by taking control. You start by taking action. How do you action? You need to calm your mind. We've got so much circling up here, whether you know it or not. Thank goodness today we have AI available. If you're still a pen and paper kind of person, do it. But if you don't have the time to sit down and pen and paper, don't let this stop you. Use your AI companion. Talk into it if yours allow for it. And you 100% communicate and you say, look, I'm going to brain dump everything that's in my head for you right now. And I need you to break it up into personal, emotional, family, and actual things that needs to happen, like things I need to action, laundry, groceries, like those type of things. Please keep up. And then you talk into it and you brain dump 100% exactly what you need to do. And by when you need to get it done, right? And then as you talk and you go, oh, this one is really important. This must go right to the top of my to-do list. That way you immediately highlight what is important, what can wait for later, and what must be done weekly, what must be done monthly, what you must look at sort of tasks that you need to hit daily. And that way you sort of plan your life, right? They're singing again. Okay, so now you've brain dumped into your AI companion or onto paper. Now you can start removing things. You can start dissecting. What you can do is say, right, tasks that you can immediately accomplish. You set out half an hour if you need to make a phone call to the doctor, if you need to respond to an email, if you quickly need to pay a bill. Those are things that you can action and immediately cross off the list that same evening or the next available moment, which you're going to have to plan for. Guys, I put together for you a very quick check that you can run through to identify whether the emotion you're feeling is overwhelm, stress, or anxiety. Because I believe that if you can identify the emotion, then you can actually deal with it. So you don't have to re-listen to the videos the whole time. You can go down below, quickly print it out, and then carry it with you wherever you're at. When you feel an emotion that you actually feel like you can't deal with, whip out your little check sheet and just check in and say, okay, well, I guess I'm feeling like this. Let's deal with it in the correct manner. Okay, if you want it, I'll leave it down below for you. Let's roll over to the next one. Outsourcing. Outsourcing what you need help with. I strongly believe that among your friends and family, if you say to them, guys, I actually need help, please can you help me? If your friends and family is anything with the, weight in gold, you would do the same for them in that situation, won't you? If they reach out to you and say, look, please come and sit with me on a Wednesday night when I do washing, because I know if you don't come and sit with me and drink coffee and talk nonsense, I'm just not going to do the washing. I really need your help with this. Or if you say to them, can you please come over on Friday afternoon and help me bulk cook 4 lasagna for this month every Wednesday I have, or a home group in the evenings and I don't have time to cook dinner for the family. Please can you come help me? I really need your support. I don't know what you really need today, but I promise you, if you have a friend or a family member that has the time, they will help you. They will even make time in their busy schedule to help you if you ask for help. You would do it, right? I know I would do it, and I'm selfish. I'm not laughing because I'm selfish. I'm laughing because I know I'm selfish and I know I'll make the time if a friend asks me. This is possibly one of my biggest tips that I can give any person that's drowning in the season of life, and that is to get help, like delegate tasks. Okay, so that's your second step that you're going to do. And then you're going to go delay. Delay is, hypothetically, you're planning Christmas lunch, but Christmas is 4 months out. Now, that is one that you can sort of box up and put on the shelf to attend to at a certain date. Now, we know you need to pre-plan Christmas. We know you need to make sure that you have the budget for it. You have to let the people know in advance. So you can actually schedule a date on your calendar when you can plan Christmas, and therefore you can actually just shelf it for now. And lastly, things that's done. So like I mentioned at the beginning, if you want to delete what's not important, if you want to quickly do it, once it's done, quickly cross it off the list and move on. And another one I want to put under done is a rough draft of what running your household looks like. For instance, what does a week in your household looks like? When do you work late? When do you need to make sure that you have 2 meals planned and ready because you won't be able to cook that evening? Which days do you do grocery shopping? On which days do you do laundry? Like, these are highlights in your week that you obviously have to address if you don't outsource it, that you're going to need to schedule and plan around, right? So under done, I need you to please make sure that you have a rough draft of how your week runs and how a month runs. Let's say there's first and last week of the month, there's things that you need to do additionally. Make sure that they're highlighted and that they show up. I have a first to the last day of the month just roughly scheduled out, and I just have rough notes. I don't keep an online calendar. It doesn't work for me, but if you do it. If you need to schedule yourself reminders, do it. There was a time in my life where I actually scheduled reminders because I could not remember from today to this evening to actually do something. Let's say I said to a friend, I'll meet up with you for coffee after work. I couldn't remember it. So my usual, I leave work time, I would have this reminder come up, remember you have coffee with X, Y, and Z tonight. And literally that appointment was made 30 minutes prior, but I had to do it to remember. So if you're in that phase of your life, schedule those reminders and don't put it off. What you put off will not get done. That is just a fact when you're drowning. Okay? We are living in a culture where we think we need to do it all by ourselves. And let me tell you, no, you don't have to. Okay? You don't have to do it on your own. I know there's always an exception to the rule, and if you are the exception to the rule, I want to say I am sorry that you're in that situation, and hopefully one day soon you will be able to make a friend that can be that kind of support for you, because you will be that kind of support for another woman, right? Then I want to introduce you to an abbreviation, GETMO, GETMO. And I learned that a couple of years ago from the Clutterbug. And she's got a YouTube channel. I'm sure you're familiar with it. If you're not, go and check it out. She's actually got some very interesting ideas around what type of organization your personality leans towards. And then she has little names for it. It's very cute. So she introduced me to this abbreviation, GETMO, and that is if you want to get more out of your day. It actually stands for good enough to move on. So let's say you cook dinner and you've now prepared your food for the next day and the kitchen is a mess. Do you need to clean the kitchen tonight? Perhaps, you have a lady coming tomorrow to clean the house. So technically you don't have to clean the kitchen tonight. If your name is Chanel, I never clean my kitchen in the evenings. I always clean it in the mornings. But what I do and what I would recommend you do is make sure that you have enough dishes for the following day. Because as long as you have enough dishes, you won't set yourself, up for failure the following day. You've covered your dishes. If you don't have a dishwasher, I'm sorry, then you're going to have to make sure that you wash enough cups and plates and knives and forks for the following day. But you don't have to dry and pack them away. Just do the bare minimum to get through the action.